What is up, guys? Lifestyle investing, where we invest based off our lifestyle to build future lifestyle. What's up, Mike?
Hey, man.
Dude,
I know.
we're talking real estate today.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Good.
A lot of hesitancy
Well,
there.
yeah.
Yeah?
It's because this market's crazy. I am feeling really excited and happy for my clients who are getting their offers accepted right now.
Yeah?
I'm feeling angry and a little bit sad about the clients that are still out shopping and making multiple offers.
So what have you been seeing the last 2 weeks?
Seeing people making offers on houses that getting beat out by cash offers,
Yep.
or they're just getting beat out because they didn't put enough earnest money down, and it's just one person went up against 20 plus offers. It's crazy. Yeah, and it's barely. I mean, it was just spring yesterday, so it's barely what's supposed to be the hot buyer's market.
I know.
I was just thinking this morning or actually it was late last night. I was up working at 9 something because I heard from an agent that wanted pre-approval, and they were going to make an offer early this morning, so I wanted to take care of it. And I was just thinking, wow. And I did another one yesterday too, after hours, and I'm like, man. So it was just a sign to me that this is what's going on right now. This market's heating up. People are out there. The sun's out. The buyers are out. Yeah, it's cool. It's really good. But at the same time, it's frustrating. And I've actually got a lot of tips for how to get people's offers accepted.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, you want to hear it? Okay.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, the main one that you probably don't want to hear is to get to get your agent to shop a little further away from where you work. And not necessarily, you don't have to commit to buying outside of that line, but at least just look, because an extra 15-minute drive, you might get an extra bedroom, you might get the quality you're looking for.
That's true.
That's the number one. That's right now, if you're having a hard time getting your offer accepted, tell your agent, hey, let's go 15 minutes out in whatever direction. Probably south if you're watching this in the Seattle area.
That's true.
Go 15 minutes south. Another thing is earnest money. The difference between making $2,500 earnest money and a $5,000 earnest money, it could be a huge difference. That's
how
a big deal.
serious you are.
Yeah. Shows how serious you are. If 2 offers have the exact same purchase price, they're going to take the one with the bigger earnest money.
Yep.
So that's that one right there. Another thing, asking for closing costs. If you're doing that, the normal rule is let's bump it up. So if I'm asking for 3%, I'm going to bump up my offer by 3%. So say if I'm making a full price offer at $200, I'm going to make it $206, and I'm going to ask for 3% back. The way to get your offer accepted in that is to go 4%. So make your offer for 4%, only ask for 3. So you're going to offer $208. You're only going to ask for 3% back. So the seller's actually getting more than if they accepted a full price offer with no closing cost. So that's a huge one. Yeah, let me think of what else it could be. Sometimes there's different loan programs available that you just might not know about. So, for example, if you have over a 620 credit score and you were planning on bringing your own money down, you could use the down payment assistance through the state. So you get the state to pay your down payment. Then you can make an offer not asking for closing cost. So that money you were going to put as a down payment, you can actually pay closing cost. So that makes your offer look stronger as well. So that's another option. Also, getting out there immediately and keeping the excitement. So what I mean by that is, as soon as you get your pre-approval, start shopping. If you have an agent that's not able to take you out when you can go out, like, you can only go out on Thursdays and Fridays after 5 and they can't, find another agent, because right now is the best time to buy until probably September.
Oh, yeah.
And here's another thing. Don't go on to Zillow. Don't go on to Redfin. Those things will piss you off and they'll break your heart, because you'll go on there and you'll say, okay, look, I'm looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath, this price range. I found this one, it's perfect. And you'll send it to your agent and they'll be like, no, that one has been in contract for 2 weeks. Or I even found one when I was shopping, because I was shopping just a couple months ago. I called the agent and I'm like, hey, I want to go see your house. And they're like, oh, we're closing tomorrow. But on Zillow, it still said on the market.
Really?
Yeah, so they don't
That's a huge
update.
delay.
They don't always update it. So what your agent has, any agent in Washington State has access to what they call the MLS. They'll have every property that's for sale. They'll know the second it goes pending. So even if you don't like the houses that they're sending you, you can still click on the map, on the link that they send you, and you can start messing with the matrix. You can say, okay, fine, I'll take 1.5 bathrooms, or, let me look at 4 bedrooms, or instead of 5, or whatever. You can start messing with it, and you can start drawing a circle around the area that you want. Yeah, those are huge tips. Those are huge things that will help you beat out offers. And I think in this market, you need an agent that's not afraid to make the offer in an aggressive way. Also, not afraid to ask for closing costs. Like, here's the real honest truth. If you know that you can't come up with down payment plus closing, you're going to have to shop 10% below where you're actually approved. So if you're approved at 280 or 300, you're going to want to shop at 280. So you're going to want to give yourself that 20 grand bump, because if you're approved for 300, you're not going to get a house that's 300. That's just what's up right now. So you might need to take the step, if your agent's not willing, and say, we're going to stop at 280 and I'm going to find a house I love at 280 and I'm going to offer 300 on it because I need some closing costs. That's what's going to have to happen. And you will get the offer. You might not get the first one or the second, but you'll eventually get it. Because if you're offering 300 on a 280 right now in this market, you can get it.
Yeah. So why do you think someone should offer? Because I think from a logical perspective, right?
Yeah.
Someone's like, you mentioned the property that would be like 200,000.
Yeah.
Right. And then you offer 4% higher at 208.
Yeah.
And then you ask for 3% in closing.
Yeah.
Why would someone do that?
Why would the seller do it, or why would the buyer do it?
Why would the buyer do it?
Because you don't have enough money to pay closing costs and your down payment.
Do you think if you have the cash available, you should just do 200 with no closing costs?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and it's really different if you absolutely love the house and have to have it than if you're just going to keep making offers until you get accepted. Because those are two very different things. Because you could go 200, not asking for closing cost, just throw it out there, see what happens. But if you know, hey, I love this house, then go 205, don't ask for closing cost. Because that extra $5,000 is only going to cost you about an extra $30 a month in payment.
Yeah.
So it's really not that big of a deal if you absolutely love this house.
That's why I always ask for closing.
Yeah.
Even though I have the cash available.
Right. Yeah.
Because my mentality is like cash is king, right?
Yeah.
So if I only have to put $10,000 into a property, right? Like something so low, just a down payment, right? Like this house that I bought, right? It was $200,000. I put 5% down, so it was $10,000. I got closing.
Nice.
Right. And so then I'm only in it $10,000, and then obviously like the repairs and things like that. But like to initially acquire the property, it's just so low.
And you had that attitude of if they say no, they say no.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So 100%. You had flexibility.
100%.
Right.
And so I think, I mean, obviously you gotta be careful with that game.
Yeah.
Right. But
well, let's say if you're moving because you got a job and you have to be out of your old place in 45 days. You don't have time to F around. You got to make a decision.
Yeah,
right
that's true.
now.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you're buying an investment property or another property to live in like you did, how long ago did you buy it?
I bought this April of last year.
Oh my gosh.
So a year ago.
And you did work to it.
Yeah, I did do work
to it. Yeah, because I was trying to think. This house seems like it's probably a $250,000 house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was actually an interesting setup. So it was listed for $210 initially. And so I actually offered $210 with no closing.
Okay.
No closing because I couldn't find for 6, 7, 8 months. I was just throwing offers out like it was candy.
Yeah.
At one point, I was having my agent literally go to the houses, take snapshots of videos, and then I would just do like a quick comp thing, and I'd put an offer without even looking at the property.
Yeah.
Just because I needed. I didn't need to, but like I was seeing just the increase of growth in real estate and things like that. I was like, okay, I need to just take advantage, and then with low rates and whatnot, I was like, okay, this is the right time. And I was renting out my other house, so I want to pick up something soon, not be desperate. You know, that's why it took me 7, 8 months to officially get it. So it was listed for $210, and it was an as-is property as well.
Yeah.
And so,
how did that pass appraisal? Conventional loan?
Yeah, conventional.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Well, which went totally smooth on.
Nice. Yeah.
Totally smooth. So yeah, offered $210 with no closing, and then they initially they were going to accept the offer, but then I found out that the siding had asbestos. So then I just wanted someone to double check it, obviously. Yeah. And so then I went out with a guy, and then we looked at everything, and he's like, okay, you know, it's still fine. You know, obviously if you sell it or rent it, you just have to disclose that the siding is asbestos. But other than that, it's in great shape. You don't have to redo it or anything like that. Love it.
A little asbestos.
I was like, what's up, man? And but it was hilarious. So because it's funny that you're saying how fast the market is and whatnot.
Yeah.
So in the time of me finding out it was asbestos and me going there with my guy and finding out that it was fine, there was another offer that had got accepted at 210. So then they ran with that offer at 210. So I lost
But it blew up.
I lost it. Yeah. So then what happens is I receive, or my agent receives a call like a week later, right? And saying like, hey, the other buyer
Died
Yeah.
from asbestos poisoning.
probably, shoot, probably. I was wondering why it smelled so bad out there, dude.
Exactly.
There's like 2 holes.
Yeah.
I thought they were like the little, the what are they
Yeah,
called?
like
Like
the planner or something. Or what?
yeah. Can't
Yeah.
sleep tonight. And so the agent called my agent and was like, hey, they backed out. Are you still interested? So he calls me up and I tell him, hey, they're desperate at this point, right?
Yeah.
Because it had been on the market for a good like 3-4 months, which is a good amount of time.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Even
And
last
then
year, yeah.
and then the house had been vacant for quite a few months as well. And then she was living in the East Coast. So I was like,
so just losing money.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is what we'll do. 3%. I want 3% closing, and then we're gonna offer $200,000. And then it's black and white. Either they'll take it or else I'm out. And then we also put in there saying like, oh yeah, I was a real estate investor, so that I bought some properties. I'd worked in banking for a while. My credit was really strong. I had enough cash. I made enough money, so like closing will just go smooth.
Yeah.
Right. So then we offered $200,000 with 3% closing, and boom, they accepted it.
Nice.
So I saved 10 G's plus the 3%.
Yeah.
Which is
$6,000.
$6,000.
Yeah.
Yes, six grand cash, and then
Yeah.
10,000 in loan.
Nice.
So I was like, damn, dude, that's 16 grand right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I've put in about 16,000 in this house.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So then I pretty much
yeah, same deal that you were gonna get. Now it's totally upgraded.
boom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's cool.
So I think it's cool just to be open for opportunities like that, especially in a market like this. And then, like you said, be flexible maybe where the areas you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because, a year ago, I didn't think I was going to live in Kent,
Right.
right? But I was looking at Tukwila, Renton, Burien,
Yeah.
Federal Way, not Auburn because it's a little farther south, but Kent, just anywhere around, and whatever the right deal worked out.
That reminds me about something. If you are looking, it's weird how like people in Renton don't know about Auburn, right? Like, we know about Auburn. Auburn, in our minds, at least to me, as somebody who's lived around here for a long time, is kind of like not the greatest area.
Yeah.
But it's more expensive than Federal Way. Federal Way is actually nicer than Auburn.
Yeah, it is.
But people think that don't know about the actual details that, well, Auburn must be nicer because it's more expensive. It's actually not true. I don't know exactly how it happened like that. So the point that I'm trying to make is find somebody who knows the area. Talk to somebody. If you're moving from a different area, even if you're moving from North Seattle to South Seattle, or like north of Seattle to south of Seattle, find somebody who knows the area because
It's a huge difference.
yeah, it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
I don't know much about north of Seattle, but from Renton down to Yelm, I'm pretty knowledgeable about what areas are cool. What are the bad neighborhoods? What are the ones where you can catch a deal right now? What are the ones that are overpriced? So it's
Which areas are overpriced in your opinion?
University Place, and I think that's probably because of the college,
Yeah.
rental houses, stuff like that. Auburn's overpriced for sure.
But when you say Auburn, you talking like Eastern? You're
I'm
saying
just talking
like
about Auburn in general.
Really?
I mean, Auburn city limits because of Lakeland, probably because of there's a couple really nice neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Just Auburn in general, on average, it's a higher price than a Federal Way house when Federal Way is technically a nicer area.
Federal Way is a nice area than
Yeah.
Auburn.
Yeah.
Except, when you get towards like the Green River area. The lake,
Right.
Lake, well, whatever it's called.
Or Lakeland or Leah Hill, and then Lakeland
Leah
Heights,
Hill.
Lake Taps and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that whole area of wealthy, the wealth houses messes up the value of the other ones.
Does.
Does. So, yes, if you're moving, definitely get somebody who knows the area. You don't want to go with a Quicken or some online bank unless you really know the area.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I actually got a question for you, man.
Yeah.
So I was actually reading this article on, it's like a shortage. So I was reading this, and I don't even have like the first page on there, but it was basically saying like there's a huge shortage in new development
Okay.
in like new houses overall within the U.S. And it's actually been the lowest point per capita since the beginning of World War II
A new building.
of new construction
Okay.
of new houses.
Yeah.
And so then they were saying it's even harder to buy a house on top of like just the hot market overall, but also because there's such low construction on new properties right now. And
Okay.
and some of the people that, or some of the reasons that they were saying is, and I want to hear your thoughts too, is because the labor is so high and then the cost of materials is so high.
Oh, okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. The lowest since the 40s, World
Whoa.
War II.
Okay. Yeah, what I hear when you say that, and maybe it's some kind of a belief that I have, is that they're bashing unions. Does that ring true to you at all? Were you catching that?
How so?
Because a union laborer gets a guaranteed wage. And that wage is, it's a good wage. So it might be higher, or it might, when I hear conversations like that, I'm thinking, oh, they're trying to find cheaper labor. But unions basically guarantee, hey, we're going to do this job. I'm a union carpenter, I'm a union whatever, and we're going to get paid this much.
That is true.
So that could be part of it.
They did bring up two words. There's just like a shortage
Okay.
of like laborers
Okay.
overall. Because and I think a big thing too is like the push of the universities, like in the last 2 decades, where everyone's like university, right? So
And some
everyone's
people are
flooding
staying out
there.
of the labor market.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to the trades, like
Yeah.
electricians, plumbers, roofers,
Right.
things like that.
Okay. Wow.
And so then with the shortage, obviously
Yeah.
the shortage, they can ask for higher pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. That seems like that would be easily remedied, and it reminds me though about the appraisal side of the business, which is like back when everything was falling, appraisers were making garbage. I mean, they were making $100, $150 on an appraiser or appraisal, and the banks were just saying, well, F you, take it or leave it.
Yep.
And so many appraisers just decided to leave it, and they left the market. Well, apparently it takes like 6 years to become an appraiser.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you have to do like 2-year apprenticeship, and then like another 2 years journeyman, and maybe even 2 years of school before you even start your apprenticeship. So there's like, before you can be out on your own appraising, I think it takes like 6 years. It's some ridiculous amount of time.
Wow.
Yeah. So a bunch of people left the market. The ones who are still here, this last summer we were paying $1,500 for an appraisal to get it done in 2 weeks. Yeah. So
I thought it was like $750.
well, right now that's what it's back down to. Our company bumped it up to like $775 for conventional, $800 for FHA, to guarantee that we'd have a quick return time.
Wow.
But there was a time where these appraisers were saying, well, you said FU to us in 2008, we're saying FU to you now, pay us, or it's going to take 6 weeks to get your appraisal back. So that's the same kind of thing I'm thinking with the labor. A bunch of people left the market. Housing crash. Oh crap, honey, I own this small contracting firm. We are not making any money. You need to use your degree. I'll try to find another job. You know what I mean? And then now coming back, people are secure in different fields, and there's a smaller pool of laborers. But I wonder how do we change that? Because there's got to be a way to change that.
Yeah.
To get people to stop going to school, which sounds horrible, and start building houses.
Yeah. Well, if you think about just like literally how much you can make as a roofer, as an electrician, as a plumber.
Dude.
Like they're all making 6 figures.
Yeah.
And there's so much work to be done. Especially like, maybe if anyone's in the Midwest or something like that, we don't know what's going on.
No, so I have a client right now who's moving from Texas to buy a house here. He
Okay.
got, basically he's getting transferred from work.
Yep.
They sold their house. They had a 2-bedroom, 1-bath for $79,000.
Yeah.
And then I was on Zillow looking around at houses in the area. There were really nice houses, 3-bed, 2-baths for $140. And I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Because that's not possible here.
No.
But in Texas, it is. And so it kind of blew my mind a little bit of like just to wake up, oh, I'm in a market of the United States that is just crazy.
I know. It's like
Yeah.
a continent.
Yeah.
It's like different countries where you're going
Yeah.
into these different states. So it's just such different
Right.
markets. Well, when we're talking mostly like the Seattle metro area.
Yeah.
So it's
Because there's some places in this country where you can buy a house for $50,000.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Like
I know.
a house.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
And I was talking to those turnkey companies that
Manufactured homes? Or...
No. Well, we're essentially like what they'll do is they'll buy like, and it could be you know, they buy like, let's say 20 properties,
Okay.
right? Like that were straight off the auction. You know,
Right.
maybe they cut a deal with the bank. They're like, hey, we're just liquidate
Yeah.
us, you know,
Okay.
give us like 20% discount or whatever the case may be. They're probably trash, vacant for
Yeah.
a year, et cetera, et cetera. So they'll pick up like 20 properties, then they'll renovate them, then they'll get a tenant, move in there, and sell them to an investor, and then they manage the property as well.
Okay.
So there's quite a few of those in like Memphis, Indianapolis.
Whoa.
In the
So what are you buying? You're buying a house, an investment property that has a tenant. Okay.
and that's managed by the person that purchased it. as well.
So they still get a recurring income, and
Exactly.
they get the money for unloading the property.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Exactly.
They fire him and say we're going to hire our own property manager. You know about that?
I
Okay.
don't know.
It seems like they could, but maybe after 3 years or something, some kind of weird thing like that.
Yeah.
That's.
But they probably
interesting.
cut them like a couple like percent deal
Oh,
where it
right.
like makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
So, you know. But anyways, my coworker did one of those a year ago.
Where he bought the one that was turnkey.
Yeah, it was turnkey.
Turnkey meaning you buy this house and you automatically have an investment property with income.
Yep, where the property's already renovated, there's
Yeah.
no holding costs, anything
Yeah.
like that, and then there's already a tenant living in there
Wow.
with like a year rental contract.
Yeah.
So yeah, he bought it for like, I think he said like 70 grand or something, put 20% down, and then now it like rents for like, he said like $950 a month.
Okay.
So he gets like a couple $100 a month.
Right. And is building equity.
Yep.
Where?
It was Indianapolis?
Oh, so yeah, it's in the
Or
Midwest.
Illinois?
Yeah, it's in the Midwest. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way it's going to be on
No.
the coast.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, because you can buy the property for an amount where you can rent it and still make money and your payment's low enough.
Oh, yeah,
and stuff
100%.
Like that. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, somebody was telling me, and this was when I was still working at B of A.
Yep.
A guy was buying ones and twos of properties, I think in Illinois or Indiana, one of the I states, where he was like, and I could have listened to him if my eyes and ears would have been open. He's like, for what the prices are right now and what the loan amount's going to be, the rent is going to be enough to more than cover it. So he had figured out the math. The math was working correctly. Does that make sense? So you're buying something for low enough loan amount that your payment on that loan is low enough to where if you rent for the market rent, you're going to be making money.
Yeah.
And there's parts of this country that are like that right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can even run the math real quick. Like even in his case, let's say it was $80,000.
Okay.
Okay. He puts 20% down. So basically, let's say 65,000.
Yeah.
We'll say 65,000.
Mm-hmm.
On 65,000, your mortgage with everything like property tax,
Yeah.
and everything.
$800, maybe $700.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say $700.
Yeah.
And then he's renting it for let's say $950. So
Okay.
that's $250.
$250.
And then he's got to pay a percent to the property management. So
Okay.
let's say 10%.
$95.
Yep, 95
Yeah,
bucks.
so he's netting $155
$155
a month and getting equity.
and equity.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the tax savings and everything like
Yeah.
that. Obviously, if there's a roof leak or something like
Yeah.
that happens, but ideally.
And he's in for the long run.
Exactly.
Eventually, it's going to be paid off. He'll have this investment.
Mhm.
Yeah, or just recurring income.
100%.
Yeah.
But if you think about it,
Yeah.
you pick up like 5 of those,
Yeah.
right? Instead of like one single family in Seattle,
Yeah.
right? 80 grand. What's the
Yeah.
numbers on that?
400.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Whoa. And then pull in almost 4,500 a month. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Where if you were to get a property here for 400,000, you'd probably rent it for 2,000 a month.
Right.
Over there,
Yeah.
you get 4,500 a month. Granted, then you're dealing with 5 tenants instead
Yeah.
of one, right?
It's a
then
lot of cats.
it is a lot of cats, dude.
Mhm.
A lot of dogs.
Yeah.
A lot of dead people that are
Yeah, and
'cause of
asbestos. Yeah.
Get you, baby. Because they got old homes out there too, man.
Oh, that's true.
Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, they could. I don't think they'll. I don't think.
Haunted house.
Dude, when we went to New Orleans, when we were in New Orleans, there was the house that was on one of the like the scary shows or something like that.
Okay, yeah. I know what
Dude.
you're talking about.
Weird vibes, man.
Really?
Oh my god.
It was on one of the shows of like Amityville horror, or like,
yeah.
or was it like a real ghost hunter show?
No.
Oh, it was just like a set for
Yeah,
a scary
it was a
show.
scary. But now it's haunted forever.
Okay.
Yeah. Horrible investment.
Ooh.
Horrible investment.
Unless you can charge admission to come
That's true.
people to see the ghosts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah,
I wouldn't like it.
yeah.
What else you got for me, man?
Let's see.
Or what else you got for yourself?
Yeah, for
what do you got for
myself.
the viewers?
Interest rates still relatively low.
Yep.
You can still get something in the 4s. You can still do 0 down at 5%, which is awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
0 down, we're talking about, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, out of your pocket, you're basically paying closing cost or even getting that covered by the seller. I mean, you might, when it's all said and done, I had a customer recently who got all their earnest money back. So, I mean, you can get into a house for literally 0 down. So that's great. The interest rates are probably going to stay steady for a little while because it stabilizes our economy.
Yeah.
And
I think so too.
I think any huge jumps is going to be, kind of rock the boat. And I don't think our president's going to allow that.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump will allow it.
No. It's weird that just on a kind of personal level of my job being in real estate, how I had this realization last night when I was working on those 2 clients after hours, like, this is what I've been working for. Like, I've been hustling for the last year, just putting it in. So this is kind of the message about in your current job, it's okay, like, put in the time. I've been putting in time and energy prospecting every day. I mean, even on the weekends, I'm doing something. I'm teaching a class, or I'm at least making a phone call. Hey, what's up? Did you go look at a house today? So I'm constantly thinking about what's going on. And last night, I'm looking at my pipeline, looking pretty good. I've got a couple of people that are out shopping, making offers today that I was working on last night. So it's just like, whoa, okay. I didn't see it because the last 5-6 months, it's been the slow time of the year.
Yep.
I was still surviving.
Yep.
But now it's like, oh my gosh. Now I'm seeing all this time, like I didn't slow down, and now it's starting to come through.
Pipeline.
So yeah, that's that message of like, don't slow down. Don't trust what your eyes are seeing or what your ears are hearing. Just trust that your actions are going to take you to the next step. Yesterday I started dialing out to Thurston County, so south of Seattle by over an hour drive south of Seattle. But I want to get connected with agents down there because they work with a lot of veterans down there, and my company that I work for can do crazy stuff for veterans. We'll basically go down no credit score. We'll do loans like in the 4s. Yeah. So I was like, I got to reach out to these veterans or to the agents that help them. So just here's a law of the universe. I was hustling making phone calls yesterday. Somehow somebody in Puyallup got my name from an agent in Auburn who had one of my buyers. They told somebody that made an offer on their property that had their agent in Gig Harbor. They called me, and I ended up getting a client who made an offer today.
Wow.
Yeah, from this. And it didn't have anything to do with Thurston County, but it was this law of the universe of if I'm taking action, if I'm putting steps forward, if I'm hustling, it creates this vacuum, this magnet of stuff coming in. So it was really cool. It was like I was dialing. I was actually talking to somebody in Thurston County. I got a call that came in. It went to voicemail. The guy had said, hey, I got your name from so-and-so, and I need to talk to you. I heard that you can do kind of special loans or whatever, and boom. And it wasn't even from that. It was like, then somebody else called him, and they're like, well, call him. So it was just some weird, the energy was with me yesterday of I'm the dude. So it was awesome. Cool. Yeah, it was really cool. Awesome. It was amazing. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Dude, I got another, I was actually reading, so I read a lot, if you don't notice. And there's actually this article that I was reading this morning. Let me see. So what it was talking about is, oh man, come on, man. So the title is U.S. starter homes are scarier, pricier, smaller, and more rundown. So home buyers in the U.S. have plenty to grouse about these days. Prices have climbed steeply in many metro areas. Mortgage rates are rising and inventory is thin. But for people looking to purchase their first home, it's ugly out there. And obviously some of the reasons that they were talking about is obviously the prices are going up immensely, and then things like even the the millennials, how the millennials is the second largest or the largest generation since the baby boomers. They're now, or we're now in the transition where we're buying. You just bought a house, right? We know some other friends that are buying houses. So it's getting to that point where now there's more money that's getting poured into there, and so it's going up. And it's getting harder and harder. And then even what we were talking about before, there's less new homes that are being built. So all of that in together, it's just harder.
Yeah. So inventory over the next 20 years is going to change because zoning will change. They'll knock down old houses. They'll put 3 where there used to be 1. I mean, all that stuff's going to change. It will, and it has to. There's going to be 2-story houses, 3-story houses. They'll fit multiple where they were. But for right now, it's the best time to buy for the next, it's the best time to buy right now. And I can say that with confidence because looking back, since they've been keeping track for 80 years, real estate has been going up on average for 6% per year. Yes, there's been times where it's dropped, but even through the crash, if you bought 20 years ago, your house is worth 3 times right now, even including the crash. So it's never going to get better than it is right now. And yeah, it is kind of bleak. People are making offers against 20 other people.
Yeah.
But what that guarantees is that house prices are still going to keep going up. And even if it does level off or even dip a little bit over time because of the baby boomers, because of the value of the dollar, the prices are going to keep going up. Houses aren't your get-rich-quick scheme.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long-term hedge your bets against inflation, stop paying rent kind of a thing. Don't buy your first home to get rich. Buy your first home to get a secure payment and then start messing with your equity. Then you can start investing. But right now is the best time. And it feels like I'm trying to sell you on something, but I truly believe that because of just looking at the 80 years of data. And I wouldn't be so confident in saying that if I didn't see that we've already bounced back and then some since the crash.
It's true.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's bleak, but it's still the right time. Interest rates are still lower than they're going to be in a year. Prices of houses are still lower than they're going to be in a year. Yeah.
One thing I wonder too is, so I was listening to this other news of saying how, because now so there's been I think last year there was 3 rate hikes or 2
from the feds.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure. From the Fed, not feds.
Yeah.
We talked about that earlier. FBI's at the door.
Hey,
Yeah.
bad boy,
Yeah, exactly.
what you gonna do?
We're gonna
what
raise
you gonna
your
do?
So yeah, the Fed, the Federal Reserve,
Yeah.
has raised the prime rate.
I think it was 2 times.
Yeah, I think so.
Either way, 2 or 3
Yeah.
times.
Right.
And but the one thing that's interesting is the CD rates haven't increased.
Oh, weird.
But now they're saying so now they did a recent test within like the last week or so, and the average CD has increased by 0.5%.
Okay.
So it's still at 0.5, but we were messing with 0.1 for the past like 7 years, right?
Yeah.
So now it's at 0.5, and so I wonder if there's going to be a direction of money going towards more of the CD rates.
Okay.
As it gets to like 1%.
Right.
Instead of putting it in real estate or even the stock market for that.
Yeah.
For that matter, right?
Well, there is people who are just going to say, I just don't want to lose money.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to get a little something back, maybe $3,000 on my $300,000 a year. You know what I mean? Just dump it in there. So that's what a CD is for. It's for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the people who are putting money in CDs aren't putting it anywhere else right now. That's really going.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
I think
They got it
point.
in a BECU money market that pays, 0.25 or something like that.
Figure for $500.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, but it's the perception. Right?
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, it's what's on the flyer.
100%.
Dude, I gotta get out of here.
Holy smokes, you do. It's already 8:21.
I know.
Dude, you got any last comments for the guys?
This is our first time doing this longer episode.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see us on Twitter. Now you see us on Instagram. I don't know if we're on Snapchat. If we are, it's probably not us. That's probably not. That's probably not my coconut tree.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, man. Hey, let me throw something out for the public, though, okay? So Dropbox is going to have their IPO. I think it's going to be the end of this week. So it's as we're recording, it's March 21st. I think it's supposed to be March. It's the end of March. So that's something that I just want people to look out for.
Okay.
Because Dropbox is supposed to be one of the biggest IPOs in like the last few years. And so I think I'd just be curious to see how it kind of.
What do we do on these ones? Especially one that's going to have such high value. We know it's going to drop. So
yeah, just don't put the money in it.
I know.
Just don't do it.
If you can get it in and out the same day.
If you can.
Yeah.
You can.
I don't even have an app to do that because I got kind of screwed with Merrill the other day because I bought it. And then when I actually ended up buying it, I bought it at what I thought was one price, and then I bought it for 80 cents more, and it kind of messed me up. I was angry, but it's because I don't have the right technology. There's some people who can buy a stock right now, and it buys right now. My computer doesn't know how to do that yet. I haven't taught it how to do that. So I think what the advice I'm going to give for this, based on what I've learned from you and doing this show, is wait for the IPO to die down, wait for it to hit that first scare, and then buy it when it drops back down below what it opened at. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
It'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to talk about. We're gonna learn something.
We are gonna learn something. Yeah, I'm curious to see what it's at in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys will check out. Maybe you'll put in $100,000 and lose it all.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll double up. And we're dumbasses.
And we'll have you on the show.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Mike, myself, Lifestyle Investing. Keep making it happen, guys.